Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. We are thankful for you for watching us this week. We have a lot to talk about this week. First of all, we want to talk about the best nerdy gifts you can get for the loved one in your life, which is probably yourself, because this is Black Friday this weekend. Also, we are going to be talking about the best ways to get tickets to San Diego Comic-Con. You may be out of luck this year, right, Katie? But we want to make sure that you know exactly. There are like 6 or 7 different ways you can get tickets. We're going to be talking about that. And also, we are full of gratitude because this week we are remembering the beloved Stan Lee. Stan the Man Lee, the guy who kind of is an inspiration for us all. Excelsior, Stan. We're going to be talking all about you this week.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's The Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show.
Welcome to the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. My name is Jim. I'm the managing editor here. We have a great group, as always, in the room. Who do we have tonight?
Hi, my name is Derek. I'm a contributor to theconguy.com.
Hi, I am Katie. I'm here a lot, I guess. I don't really know how to introduce myself.
Just found out you're a big gamer, which is exciting.
Becoming a big gamer.
That's awesome.
What's up, everybody? I'm Ben Kliewer. You can find me on social media at BENKLIEWER. And apparently my pepperoni commercial's been playing a lot.
That's exciting. I want to hear more about that.
You do?
Later.
I love pepperoni. Cheeseman on the couch here, back on the couch with theconguy.com.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much for showing up this week. I know this is Thanksgiving week. Everybody has a lot going on. We have stuffing that's being stuffed.
Waka.
Turkeys that are being set free. Not really.
Is Trump pardoning a turkey? Is Trump going to pardon a turkey?
Yeah, he doesn't pardon too much.
I mean, if he does, it'll be the best turkey and the greatest
turkey
of all
Greatest
time.
turkey
The most tremendous turkey.
No better bow.
I would also like to introduce our incredible engineer tonight, Anthony. He is the voice in the booth.
What up, party people? How's it going? Can y'all hear
Yeah.
me? Oh, okay, that's better.
There we
Hey.
Yeah.
Anyways,
There it is.
since this is Thanksgiving week, real quick, let's get the ball rolling. What are you guys thankful for? I have one. I have something I'm very thankful for. That Lucasfilm has halted Star Wars production to take a minute to step back and reevaluate what their plan is for movies going forward. I think that's a very good thing, Lucasfilm. Good decision.
So specifically in nerddom, what we're thankful for?
Hey, anything.
But let's focus on that because that's what the show's about.
Yep.
But I was gonna say like that we live in the age of Netflix and such things that can get just about anything we love made or made again. Like the fact that Netflix is gonna do Narnia, the fact that they brought back so many things. It's just great to live at a time when there's so much content and all the stuff we love from childhood that we thought we'd never see a movie of, we finally get to.
Exactly.
You know, or a series or whatever.
Anybody else?
I mean, mine's not really nerdy because I can't think of anything right now, but I am thankful that this will be my, what 2018? 8th? Almost my 9th year in LA.
Oh, that's an accomplishment.
Wow.
That is
So
a good
thankful
accomplishment.
for that I'm still here, I guess.
Katie, we are thankful that you're still here.
So-
We're thankful that you're part of the show.
Thanks, guys.
I'm actually really thankful. In spite of the past week to 2 weeks here in Southern California, we've had a lot of really heartbreaking stuff happen between a mass shooting and the fires that raged. I found a point to be very thankful that our wedding venue in Malibu survived the fire.
Oh, wow.
And it was in the middle of it. It's called Calamigos Ranch in Malibu.
Yeah.
And when we toured it initially, they kind of bragged on the sprinkler system that they had, this like fire repellent system essentially. And basically during the fires, the owner and like some of the staff stayed on the property and engaged this sprinkler system. And I think they almost ran out of water, but they managed to save all but there are 70 buildings on the property. They saved all but 4 of them. And from what I understand, they were just kind of exterior buildings. Like they weren't super important, but all their wedding venues and all that kind of stuff was saved because they have this system that shoots water like 60 feet in the air and creates a microclimate on the property that's humid and nothing it's insane.
Wow.
Like Fantasmic at Disneyland.
Exactly. So I'm very, very thankful that we still have a location to get married at in May.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
can I just say, like, Southern California has really, and Northern California has really been hit with some terrible, tragic events this past couple of weeks. The people that are in your lives, make sure you take time to be thankful for them. And if you have if you have an extra dime or an extra dollar in your pocket, maybe give to some of the relief efforts that are happening in Southern California right now, because there are a lot of people. I've heard that the city of Paradise up in Northern California, people will not return to that city. The city will not be rebuilt back to the way it was. They don't have enough. I was listening to FEMA talk about there's not enough, like whatever they need to resources to return everybody to the town. So they will be living elsewhere for years and years to come. So it's very sad. And, a whole entire town was burnt down, and that's a very sad thing. Down here in Southern California, a friend of ours was talking to us yesterday about how he was driving down the road in the middle of the fire, and the entire interstate turned around. The fire hit the road, jumped the road in front of them before they were able to get out, and they had to flee back the other way. People were fleeing their trucks, and it was a wreck. We don't need to say his last name, but it was a harrowing experience. And so, Rick, I'm very thankful that you and your family are safe.
Yeah, because he was even talking about how he thought at one point he may have to get out of his car and run down a hill or something, and leave his car to just
and run for it.
So luckily, all
Anyways,
ended up and he got to his family.
I'm thankful right now that people are safe, but hearts and prayers really do go out to people that were not quite so fortunate. So,
Well, on a lighter note,
let's go back to you. Yeah,
I just got back from Disney World with my family, so got to do a lot of Disney type things and all that. So just thankful for family, and I got to go on a family trip with them, wearing matching shirts at times, being that family. But
you should share that.
That family.
Where can they see the photo that you're talking about?
You can look at my Instagram, Luke M. Cheeseman, and see lovely pictures of my family wearing matching shirts. And me and my sister had this Donald and Daisy hat that we had from back forever ago, and my mom brought them. We don't want to age people on this show, Jim.
30 years ago.
We don't do that. But, we had a side-by-side thing of that.
I have that Donald hat.
That was fantastic.
I bought it 2 years ago.
Doesn't it?
No, I bought it 2 years ago. They still make them.
Yeah.
It's a little tight on my
I
head.
actually totally forgot a good thankful thing that I'm thankful for, and that's that I am student loan debt free.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, me too. Just recently.
All right.
Yeah,
You too. All right. So, Derek, we are thankful for some things that are coming up very soon. What are those things?
Yeah, wait, which are we talking about? The upcoming conventions?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, well, there are 3 comic book conventions coming up in the next few weekends. There's
many more.
Well, there are more, but there are 3 that we're going to mention that are standout big ones, I guess.
Yep.
First of all, November 30th through December 2nd is Louisville SuperCon in Louisville, Kentucky. And that same weekend is Wizard World Comic Con in Madison, Wisconsin. And then the following weekend, December 7th through 9th, is Steel City Con in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. And like you said, there are conventions all over the country all the time.
Yes.
But those are 3 big ones.
We also have some special fan conventions.
Some special fan conventions and some events that are just a little more focused. So November 25th, 27th, and December 3rd is the 40th anniversary Fathom screening of the original Superman film.
That's
perfect
got me
for the
still.
shirt.
And that's
Well,
why
say the original,
got
meaning
this
the
at
Richard
LA
Donner
Comic-Con.
78 Superman.
Our friend Karen, if you are watching the show, we want to go see that with you. That Karen points to Superman as the film that just changed her life and got her into geekdom.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's good. It's one of the few examples of a good Superman movie that we've had.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, but
It's just true.
It's good stuff. And then December 1st through 2nd is Walker Stalker Con, Heroes and Villains Fan Fest in San Jose, California. And then the weekend after that, December 7th through 9th, is the official Supernatural Convention in Jacksonville, Florida.
No, I want to go to that
I know,
sometime.
Katie
I
looks-
missed it when it was here.
Because it does travel around.
It travels at a different place all the time, but someday I'll go.
My way.
Someday.
I was confused because I saw
that was
the
lovely.
season premiere this year and they didn't sing the Kansas song. They did a different song.
They have a couple. They
The
have a
season
couple
finale is when they do that.
Season finale is Kansas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they do that on the recaps.
Okay. And
sometimes.
were you there when they did the live
No,
Kansas show
that
at
was the
Comic-Con?
one year I didn't go to that panel.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we have 3 things we're going to be talking about a little bit more deeper tonight. Number 1, we have some Comic-Con news, and we're going to talk about how you can get into Comic-Con. That's the first big topic tonight. And the second one is we're going to be talking about gifts and geeky gifts and stuff, since we have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday. Small business Saturday. We have the weekend of
Small business
Saturday.
Monday? Is it Monday or
Monday,
It's Small Business Saturday.
Saturday.
Cyber
Saturday,
Monday.
Cyber Monday.
and then Giving Tuesday.
I don't know. You know what? It's good to just support small businesses anyway.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Especially if they've got a website. And then I'm so lazy. I'm so lazy. And then we will end the show. Of course.
You know, Geeky Teas and Games in
Stanley's.
Burbank has a website that you can order.
I want you to
online.
talk about them tonight, and I would love to get what's her name? What's
Donna
her-
Ritchie?
I'd love to get her in here to talk about Geeky Teas. This sounds
Yes.
like an awesome
We
shot.
tried to
I
schedule
think
her.
you can also
Yes.
adopt cats there.
Yes.
There
I
is,
think
they,
so.
they do have a cat
have
rescue.
they
Yeah.
have
Geeky
cats.
Teas.
So, right now, let's go ahead and move on to our Comic-Con section.
Let's do it.
And there's another. Speaking of passings, you know, this is the week of passings, but
Yeah.
John Rogers, the president of Comic-Con, did pass away this past week, which it's very sad to report. He's been there for like what, 30 or 40
It was
years.
something
Yeah.
30 some odd years, I think.
Yeah, they're celebrating next year's the 50th anniversary of Comic-Con. But we do have a couple of announcements real quick, and you were surprised. D23 has announced that they are having, they're the very first offsite that's announced for Comic-Con next year, celebrating 10 years of D23.
On the
is
50th year of Comic Con.
Yes.
Which is interesting to me because they themselves are a convention
Yep.
having an offsite at another convention.
Yeah.
Yes, but this past
But
year...
they're doing it in August now, so it's not back to back, so
Right,
they
right.
can
But
kind of
still,
spread
it's
out the
kinda
resources a little bit.
interesting.
Yep. It's the
But
10 year of D23,
It
the
also
50th
makes
of
sense.
Comic-Con.
You know, if people like going to conventions, they like going to conventions, and if people are really into these big fandoms, you have a lot of overlap.
Oh, absolutely.
And also because Disney owns Marvel and Lucasfilm now. I mean, you've got
I
people
just
who are
like
gonna wanna
pointing
go.
out the
Yeah.
irony. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it
agree.
is ironic, and it was also ironic that this year that they had two big panels at San Diego Comic-Con. They almost had a Hall H panel, which
Nice.
they kind of downgraded a little bit. They didn't have the talent on the panel that they were hoping for. Oh,
I just thought of another thing I'm thankful for.
what's that?
Yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got renewed for
Oh,
season
yeah.
7 before
Already.
season 6 even aired.
I,
Yeah.
is that is
Which is
incredible.
good because last
Yeah.
year they got a super late pickup.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No.
I know it was super late, and so like they do have a season 7, which is pretty amazing.
And I got inside information on that, but I don't know if I can say it on the air. So I'll tell you guys later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, just whisper it. What is it? No, anyways.
So
anyways,
anyway, what it was
San Diego Comic-Con. Also, DC Comics has announced that they are having a giant mega booth with Warner Brothers. It makes sense. They're all owned by the same company, but yeah. It's kind of like, Marvel Comics has a separate booth and Marvel Entertainment has a separate booth.
So they're basically getting their own row, right?
Yeah. Well, they've announced a super mega
Because
booth,
they normally have DC and Warner Brothers separate. Is what instead
Yep.
so instead of that they're just doing one.
which is kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Katie,
Yeah.
you are kind of our resident expert on all kinds of different tickets to get into Comic-Con. The one thing that people always complain about San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll just go over this for a few minutes and just to help people out, to gear them up for mainly next year.
Yeah.
Because this year is SOL, as you were explaining to me. But
Yeah.
there are probably about 6 or 7 different ways to get tickets to San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
What are the first couple of ways?
So there's open registration, which is open to anyone, regardless of if you've gone in the past or whatnot.
Which was just this
Which
past...
was last Saturday
or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so, but that is the second one. The first one is actually returning registration, which you actually had to have a badge from last year to get that.
Right.
The good thing is if you're a returning person who didn't get it, you have 2 chances technically to do it. They went super fast, like always.
The entire open registration went in less than an hour.
Yeah.
Returning registration in less than an hour.
Yeah.
And we're talking like 50,000 people.
No, it's like, isn't it closer to like 100,000 people?
Well, there's 100,000 people that go.
There's
in total-
130,000 people,
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
right. 130
Yeah.
in total. Yeah, you're correct.
But yeah, so, and then there's press passes and professional, which are kind of in the same realm. You just register on their website. So you can click on the tabs and it'll tell you everything you need to know.
And it is very difficult to get the press
Yes.
pass.
If you're interested, I believe you can sign up for like a member ID at any time.
You must
that
have a
way you
member
are
ID, yeah.
on
Yeah.
their email list because you have to have a member ID to register for anything.
Yeah, the member ID though, that's free. You just go to the Comic-Con
Yeah.
website, you open a profile, and then you can you get
and
a
you-
free profile on the website.
You need that
Yes.
to begin with, even if you're going to be the guest of a
Correct.
professional.
Exactly.
Everybody needs it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can also, I believe, from there, like say, hey, I want the emails, and they'll email you
Yep.
all the time. And then there is professional registration was super early this year. It was before Comic-Con even happened from this year. I believe it started, right?
It was right at the end of when
right.
Comic-Con. It was like the last day of Comic-Con.
Yeah, till the end of August.
First day of open registration for professionals.
You were out of the country when they were doing professional registration this year. I remember that.
Yeah.
So definitely keep your eye on.
But I submitted from the country I was in.
Yeah, you can sign up
From London.
for information about it. So I believe they'll send you the updates because that's really the only way, unless you know someone who has it. But this year they changed their policy a little bit. Used to be a lottery waiting in the lovely little waiting room. This year they just predetermined. I don't know how they did it, but they basically sent you an email. You logged in and it said, "Hey, you get this and this and this, and you have up until."
May the 9th
to redeem those badges.
Yep.
So that's kind of nice because it gives people
It is
time.
nice, but the badges cost. Most people have to pay for the badges.
I've had to pay for badges in the past. So
Yeah, and then...
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's what happened to me. So I'm an actor, and I have credits on Internet Movie Database.
IMDb.
So if you look me up, Ben Kliewer, that's K as in Kilo, Liewer, you'll see what kind of credits I have on there. And so years ago, I probably had half the credits that I have now. And I was like, somebody was like, hey, you should try to sign up for professional registration. So I did, and I just printed off pages of my IMDb profile and circled my name in different projects and mailed it in. And, like 3 months later, I get an email.
Like the real mail?
Like snail mail, legit
Really?
snail mail, yeah.
With the stamp. Did you lick the stamp?
I licked the stamp and I put it on there. And
I did. I had to do the same thing.
And I got an email, and this is years ago. I got an email like probably 3 months later, and they're like, "You're approved as a professional." And then it was what Katie was saying. I had to log in on the first day of professional badge registration and wait in a waiting room. And then I got in, and they're like, "Hey, you're eligible for, once you get in, you get your professional badge." But then the big game was, do I get 2 free guest badges? Do I get 1 free guest badge and a paid guest badge? Do I get no guest badges, or do I get 1 paid guest badge? So, I rolled on that, and you're eligible for 3 years when that happens. So for 3 years, I got a free professional badge.
Same with me, yep.
Yeah.
And then it expired after 2017 Comic-Con. So I re-registered for 2018 Comic-Con, and I was like, I've got more credits now, so
It should be simple.
I got rejected for last year. And then I started reading all this stuff about how they're like, we're really trying to lean more into actual comic book industry people as quote unquote professionals. Not movie, not TV, not all that.
Not even people in production on movies and TV as much either, which is what
A
a lot
friend
of
of
people
ours
are.
buys movies for major
Yeah.
studios and got turned down. Remember, I don't want to say his name, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
JS?
Yes.
Okay.
So this year, I figured after we got back from Comic, so I happened to get a badge to Comic-Con because I was asked to be on a panel, which was a fantastic panel.
We came and saw the panel. You did great.
Thank you very much. And so after Comic-Con this year, I was like, I'll register again. I had a couple more credits. One was a sci-fi series that I was like, okay, I'll apply again.
Right.
It takes 20 minutes for me to put all this stuff together. I mailed it in. And then Bree and I were like, I'm not going to get approved, so we're just not going to go to WonderCon Anaheim. We're not going to go to San Diego. We're getting married. We'll just save our money. We won't.
I remember you telling us so. We're not going this year.
Yeah. And then I get an email. It's like, you've been approved for professional status. And I was like,
But the thing was, I was surprised that you got it. Not because I didn't think you deserved it, because I did think you deserved it, but just because of all the crackdowns and how they did the professional
Exactly.
stuff. I know that Cheeseman, who turned in comic books pages.
I'm still waiting. Still waiting for your reply.
Yeah, he's still
They've
waiting for his
replied
reply.
on email, but
and
still
we
waiting.
actually went and talked to the press people. We're like, look, we report on you guys all the time. We love San Diego Comic-Con. We love Comic-Con International. We know that some of them watch the show. We were asked to submit articles for the book. They love us, but yet they turned us down as press. So I was like, how does that
That was
happen?
surprising when they literally had your face
In
and
their
name
book.
in the book. With
Well, they literally find us and they say, "Oh, good to see you guys are back." I'm like, "Yeah." Anyways,
they're like, we didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But then the other thing that happened this year was they used to have creative professional, industry
Yeah, now
professional.
it's only one.
This year they've gotten rid of those labels.
There's no longer any trade professionals.
Yeah.
Which is why
Just-
you were in trade professional.
Yes, and now I'm just paid professional.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah.
But some people who have been approved for professional badges, which I got approved for, some people get free ones like you, Jim. You got yours for free, right?
Well,
Congratulations, Jim.
I don't like to brag about
Yeah.
that for this year.
but I'm just using it as an example.
Yes, that's
and
true.
that's great for you. That's wonderful.
Yep.
And then mine, they're like, you get your guaranteed professional badge for $293.91 plus
$270 or something like
I
that.
think
this
it
year
went
it's
up.
$291.
$291
Okay.
plus
Yeah.
a $7.50 processing fee or
Last
something
year might
like
have been
that.
$270.
We do have to kind of move on
Yeah.
here, but
Yeah.
we have a couple more sections. But all that is to go on to just to say they are cracking down on the number of free badges that they are giving out. Everything's becoming a paid badge. By the way,
Yeah.
even if I have to pay for it, which I'm glad I don't have to this year. That's still a step ahead of the 75 to 100,000 people that wait in line
Yeah.
to get
Exactly.
those few
Correct.
badges.
Which is-
No, actually, there's even more than that. There's hundreds and
There's
hundreds of thousands.
there's like I think like almost 1 million people that try.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
I
Yeah.
heard that you have when you come back to open registration, you have a 6% chance of getting a badge. 6%.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Okay, what are the other badges, Katie?
Real quickly, I'm gonna
Yep.
do this really quickly. You can volunteer for a slot on any of the days, and you get a badge
Have you
for
done
that
that
day.
before?
No, but I have friends who've done it for other cons. So basically, you work whatever they tell you to work, and then you can kind of walk around for the rest of the day because you get a badge for that day. I don't know if it's up yet, but you can check the volunteer tab on the website. And then if you're a guest or a special guest, you can also get badges that way, like a panel. If you're on a panel, you're friends with someone who's
Right.
on a panel.
That's
I don't know.
how you were able to secure a badge, correct?
Well, yeah, last year when I was asked to be on the panel, they submitted my name to Comic-Con, and then because I was on a panel, I got a badge and a guest badge complimentary.
Yeah.
I was able to get a guest badge last year because I was on a panel, but also special guests. I'm not completely sure
Yeah.
what that is. I know that they sometimes have their hotel rooms
Yeah.
paid for, and they're paid
Yeah.
to be there, right?
And there was one other one I was gonna. What was the other one?
That
there
could
also
only be certain days, probably, right?
randomly has been at other conventions. They've been giving away tickets. And
Oh,
on
there are a
their
lot of
Instagram,
contests.
There's a lot more contests this year, and I think they're doing it themselves so that it discourages other companies from trying to do it. So yeah, that's another one.
Which is fantastic. But the thing is, like, the main point, SOL, you cannot get tickets this year except through contests.
Well, I don't mean to sit up here like, well, I'm
Unless
an
you know a
actor.
professional who doesn't have their guests allotted for you.
Right.
Or unless you
Which is-
are...
Yeah.
There are people, the panelists for Comic-Con has not been set.
Yeah.
So if you are submitting a panel to Comic-Con, you still will be able to get badges to Comic-Con. That is one
If
way.
you're accepted, yeah.
Yes.
But there is a list. There is a long list of people. I'll do this and I'll do this, but it's hard to get a panel at Comic-Con.
Well, and I don't mean to sit up here and be like, well, I'm an actor and I have all these IMDb credits and I have to pay for my badge that's guaranteed to me.
No.
I don't have that kind of money. Just because I'm on TV doesn't mean I have any money.
No, nobody
Yeah.
has money. But anyways, so that is kind of our real quick, semi-quick rundown of the ways to get into San Diego Comic-Con. It's not easy. It's still not easy.
No.
It's still a hard thing to do. We will try to keep you up to breast and all that. Right now, professionals, you have until May 9th. I think press is open. I think if you want to submit a panel to Comic-Con, it's probably a good chance that you might be able to do that if you have some kind of expertise. But other than that, out of luck. All right. But all right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit. We have Black Friday, something Saturday, something Sunday. Oh, Church Sunday. Monday, Saturday.
Church on Sunday morning.
Church on Sunday. Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday. We have there's so many gifts that you can be giving the nerds in your life, like me. But let's go ahead. I think we'll go ahead and start. We have a couple of. We have about 6 or 7 photos here. If we can show photo number 1, Ben. What is this?
So this is something, I don't know if this is going to be on sale for Black Friday or anything.
If you can describe it as well.
Exactly. This is something I've been obsessed with. It is a vinyl figurine statue. It is called Nooligan Batman. And it is designed by an artist, and I'm probably going to butcher his name, but his name, or you know what? This is a name that is foreign to me, so it may be a female artist. I don't know. But the name is Hainanu Nooligan Salke, or Salke. That is the designer artist, and it is sculpted by a guy named Paul Harding. And it's a DC collectible.
We will have every single photo of what we're describing on our website, theconguy.com.
And he's just kind of this, like, punk rock Batman who's wearing Chuck Taylors.
Yep.
And, like, he's really stylized. And it's this whole concept around, like, this is the artist's alley version of a collectible Batman
I like
figurine.
the tennis shoes. The
Yeah.
And
sports
is he wearing jorts?
Yeah.
There
it is.
Yeah, he's kind of wearing
Just the
jorts.
shoes.
a little
Yeah,
bit,
it looks like
that's
he's wearing
cool.
jorts.
Yeah, but it's just so cool, and they also have in this series they have a Joker and a Harley Quinn, and it comes in both a color version and a black and white version, and they all look super cool. But the Batman is what I'm specifically obsessed with, just because it is so unique and so cool, and I have like a
What's
little Batman.
the
collection.
website we can?
You can get it on Amazon. If you want to look up just information about it, you can go to dccomics.com
Awesome.
and search Newligan.
What's the
Nooligan.
cost?
It is $39.95, I believe. $40.
I am not going to know the cost of everything
That's
I'm talking
fine.
about.
I'm just. I
All
know
right.
the price of yours though.
So photo number 2. Let me see. I submitted this as Tiki Mugs, but these are specifically Star Wars
These are
Tiki
pretty
Mugs.
cool. Do you have some of these, Jim?
Cheeseman, do you have any of these mugs?
I have all of them.
Do you?
I have all of them. Bree got
Yeah,
them
we
for
don't have
me.
these.
Okay, I don't
No
have
Star Wars ones for me.
Okay, I don't have any of the Star Wars yet. That's the next on my list. These specifically, thinkgeek.com. Thinkgeek.com. I don't think is this the same company that does the monster mugs? It looks like it.
I think so. It's a company called Geeky Tikis.
Yes, Geeky Tikis.
Yeah.
For those
Yeah.
who don't know, I'm a big Tiki fan. I have a Tiki bar at my house.
I am too.
Oh, that's fantastic! And if I wasn't into cons, I would be going to every Tiki convention. But anyways, if anybody wants to, Mom, if you're watching, if you can want to get me a set of these Star Wars Geeky Tikis, I would be very, very happy. Anyways,
What's your favorite ones on there, Jim?
Darth Vader, of course.
That one looks really
They're only
cool.
$2.50
Yoda looks
by the way
really
on Black
cool.
Friday.
They're only for Black Friday only $2.50
A piece.
Get out of
Get
town.
out of here. Whole
All
set.
right.
$2.50.
One,
Get
two,
the whole
three,
set,
four,
Mama
five, six.
Fry.
All right.
They also have Guardians of the Galaxy ones too.
All right, cool. Next photo, number 3.
By the way, Jim,
All right.
on the Geeky Tikis, I have the Jabba the Hutt giant one with a little salacious chrome shot glass.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This one's Cheeseman. What we got here?
All right. Well, my family grew up collecting Hallmark ornaments. I had a lot of family members work for the stores, so over the years we've gotten some. So I'm also a big fan of the '66 Batman. So, of course, I would want the Batman and Robin on the Bat bike with the Robin.
This also comes with the next photo.
And then the next one is the Riddler,
Yep.
which is also part of the same series. So I actually sent these to my mom like a few weeks ago because they can sell out these Hallmark things, or the quantity is always kind of like limited, and when you get closer to Christmas, it's a little harder to find. So I'd encourage you to get them now if you're looking to get them.
Go to
But
the
I collect
Hallmark
those.
website.
Yeah, go to the Hallmark website. There could be sales, but I know.
little Frank Gorshin action for you.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Old school Riddler, and then
What's cool is
there's
like
also some Walking Dead ones that came out that I already bought because I wanted to have those for Halloween. So they had Daryl on the bike, and then they had Merle, like Zombie Merle. On
Zombie
there.
Merle.
Yeah, so I had those
And
on a
you've
tree
been collecting
currently.
these ornaments for quite a number of years. Like you have an
Since
entire.
before I was born. I have like baby's first Christmas, like Hallmark ornaments and different things. A lot of them are still on my parents' tree. I've only brought some of them out, but I kind of have like Jaws, Back to the Future, all sorts of different Hallmark things on
That's
very
fantastic.
nerdy looking tree
It's a really cool tree, though.
and stuff. So
It's a really cool tree. All right, the next photo number 5 is the one that I submit as well. It's in memory of Stan Lee, the great Stan Lee. This is a T-shirt, and his face is completely covered with characters that he has created through the years 1922 through 2018. You can get this T-shirt at TBBoo. That's TEBEEBOO. TBBoo.com. And that is the graphic that we use to advertise the show tonight. Just because I think that's such a great T-shirt.
Yeah.
It shows Stan Lee, and we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. All right, we have another one that I submitted, the next photo, which I really, really like. This is the Millennium Falcon waffle maker. This is on StarWars.com.
that's pretty cool.
You can make waffles in the shape of the Millennium Falcon. This thing, I think this thing was around $19.
That's it. That's pretty good.
Oh, it might have been $29. I don't really know.
$100.
Anyways,
Waffle makers aren't that.
but it was awesome.
Yeah.
Katie.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's start here with Derek.
Derek.
Oh, sure.
All right.
Well, as far as like Black Friday deals, I mean, there's not a whole lot I usually don't do Black Friday stuff, but I do at least look at Brick Friday on Lego.com because as I've talked
Brick
about.
Friday. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I love my Lego. I do want to try and get a Lego Advent calendar this year because I haven't done that for a few years. And this year they're doing deals like Friday through Sunday, and if you spend, I think it's $99, they throw in a free little set.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, okay, but other nerdy stuff? Can I plug this?
Yeah. No, this
right.
is fantastic. You got this today, right?
I got it over the weekend, actually. This game, Pitch Storm, I supported on Kickstarter a while back and just got a version of the game. It's not available in retail yet, but will be soon.
Oh, it's from Skybound.
Yeah,
I didn't
Skybound,
know
which
that.
they printed, or they published Super Fight and a couple other great games. Anyway, the idea is you draw a character and a plot idea, and it gives you just like a movie log line, and then your job is to try and pitch that to another player who's playing the executive, and somewhere in the middle of it they'll throw you a note. So it'd be something like this: a fraternity on the verge of suspension tries to escape an island full of hungry dinosaurs. So you're trying to pitch that for like less than a minute, and then they'll stop you and throw in a note like this: what if the main character was a robot, but they didn't know they were a robot? And so it's just kind of like spoofing Hollywood
feel like
and
this is
everything.
actually going
Yeah.
to create a lot of stuff.
I
People
know,
are actually going
yeah,
to write stuff based
yep.
off of this.
We just get it out and
Yeah.
played for a few minutes
Yeah.
Sunday night to try it out, and we were with a couple of creative friends, and it was just great the way it just kind of gets you in that mode, and you're kind of doing this funny improv humor. And
It kind of sounds like it was inspired by that episode of South Park where they're making fun of how Family Guy comes up with their things.
With the manatees.
The manatees pushing little balls into the machine, and then that's how they come up with all their little bits.
That's
You never
pretty
know.
cool. And
But it's a fun one. This is like, I've talked before about how my wife and I are big gamers. I mean, not video gamers so much all the time, but we love tabletop games. We love games like this. And yeah, again, it's called Pitch Storm. It's by Skybound Entertainment. It's not available in stores yet, but it should be available to order online before long if you follow them on Facebook.
But before you're
Or-
done,
yeah.
if you are in the LA Burbank area, you have a store which is a favorite of yours for
Yes.
geeky stuff. What is that?
Yes, Geeky Teas and Games. That's TEAS, Geeky Teas and Games. You go in, you can try out board games. I've talked about them before, I think. You can play for like $5 a person, unlimited play, and the owner, Donna, it's a really cool lady. She's
What part of town's it located?
It's in Burbank. It's on Magnolia, and it's in an area where there are a lot of great small businesses.
Yep.
So Small Business Saturday, if you're in the LA
Perfect
area,
time to go.
Yeah, it's a great time to go. And yeah, they sell games there, of course, but also Donna is really great to teach you how to play new games when you
Yep.
try them out, and she does custom teas that all have geeky names.
That's
Like
fantastic.
they're themed for Downton Abbey and X-Files and everything.
And it's also a cat rescue.
Yes.
Oh, great.
There's a cat rescue there, which is called Geek Kitties.
Great name. Great name. Katie.
Yeah. So I don't really I only really buy nerdy stuff when I'm at conventions,
Yep.
unless I see something that catch my eye. And also, but something I've been doing more lately is video games. And so I know for me, I wanted to find out what consoles and video game sales there could possibly be, because last year I found out too late and couldn't buy one. So I know I'm interested in at one point buying a PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 Slim 1 terabyte with the Spider-Man game will be on a Black Friday deal for $199, and it's usually $199.99
Yes.
instead of $299.99. So
That's
it's about
dope.
$100.
That is, yeah.
That's a
But you-
screaming
You
deal.
can even get it lower.
Yeah, and most of these are available as of the 22nd, so it's all week. And then there's going to have Xbox and PS4 wireless controllers will be on sale. This is Target sales, by the way, but for the wireless controllers will be $39.99 instead of $59.99. And then there's just other games. They're doing a Nintendo Switch bundle, which I didn't think would happen, so I'm a little irritated by that. But you can get the Nintendo Switch bundle with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which will be $299.99, and it's normally $359.99.
Oh.
So basically, you're getting the game for free because the game is $60.
Yep.
So, but for the most part, Nintendo Switch doesn't really have any deals because it's still selling for their full price. Their Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu game just came out. This is the little controller I got
Oh, wow.
with it.
Yeah.
So
For
y'all
those of you
should get
listening,
that.
it looks like a Pokeball.
It literally, you press a button and when you're walking and it's connected to Pokemon Go, it'll vibrate. You press the button to try to catch the Pokemon.
That
so it's
is
pretty
cool.
great. It's literally like nerdness came to 2018. So, But yeah, and then just a whole bunch of other games and stuff as well. Xbox console will be on sale for $400, and Xbox One will be on sale for $399 instead of $499. So a lot of the consoles go on sale slightly, except for the Nintendo Switch.
And I also heard that you were talking about the PS4, the
Yes.
Spider-Man bundle.
Yes.
If you want to stay up, brave the lines at Kohl's, you can get it for $200 plus $60 in Kohl's cash, which means you're getting it for $140.
Oh,
So I mean, there's some really good deals.
I didn't know Cole sold PlayStation 4.
I did
PlayStation
not
4, so-
either. I neither did I.
Yeah, Kohl's. It's surprising sometimes the games and toys they have
Their
in there.
CEO
Yeah.
was probably like, we need to do something. Let's sell PlayStation 4.
Just real quick, I am going to list quite a few different deals on the website because we don't have time to go through all of them. But I know that DC Comics Cyber Monday, buy one get one free sale. Let me see. Fans can get their own savvy online shopping with Comixology's buy one get one free promotion on all single issues, graphic novels, and collected editions from DC Comics that were released before November 7th, 2017. That's a freaking good sale. Marvel's also having a sale online, Marvel comic books. The Funko Marvel Collector Corpse. Oh, that's something. I'm not going to go over that. But it's too long to explain. No, Funko is having a Black Friday sale, but Funko has all kinds of different Funko Pops at different stores and stuff. Like I know that Hot Topic is having a pretty great Black Friday sale. So we will try our best to get a lot of those things online. USology, the AMC, The Walking Dead Monopoly board is on sale on Amazon at a special price. I'm looking into that. They also have the Walking Dead Clue Game and the Walking Dead Trivial Pursuit.
Are they anticipating not selling them after the season? That's what it sounds like.
That's for another show. This season it's challenging to say the least. So it just got rebooted like 2 weeks ago, and I still love the fact that you don't mess with Carol, but other than that, I'm not 100% in love with the show.
We'll have to talk about that another time.
All right. Anyways, anything else? Marvel Blu-rays, Avengers, Black Panther. You'll be able to find those at Walmart, Target, and Best Buy for like $7 to $14.
Are they just the normal Blu-ray? They're not like the
No.
chrome one?
It's the special one.
I want 4K.
Steel
like
book.
well,
The
not
four-
the Steelbook one
No, the 4K one is on sale. I just saw.
because
here we
I
go.
couldn't find the Steelbook. I wanted it.
Both the Blu-ray and 4K editions. It looks like the 4K at $15 is on sale at Best Buy, Target, and Walmart. So that's pretty cool.
Target's a really good place to buy entire seasons of shows on DVD on Black Friday, by the way, because they're usually like $10 for a whole season of a TV
Seriously?
for an hour-long TV show. That's how I got like $10 to $20. Like you can get all of the season of Arrow for $10.
If you want to leave the house on Black Friday.
Yeah, I actually have always gone at like 10 o'clock and I'm fine. I
Oh,
just
here we
go
go.
with
That's
whatever's
nice.
left.
At Barnes & Noble, online and in the stores, Funko Pops, buy one, get one 50% off. So that's a pretty good deal.
You want to know what I always buy on Black Friday? A Christmas tree.
Yep.
And that's the only thing.
A real one?
All right.
Usually, like if I'm back home.
Okay.
Everybody, I do encourage everybody, though, spend time with your family and friends on Thanksgiving. Let's not turn Thanksgiving itself into a great big cash grab.
Consumerism.
Amen.
Yeah.
So wait till
And you can do your Black Friday late at night, too.
Wait till
just so you know.
midnight on Thanksgiving and then
Yeah.
go out, which is what I usually do. All right. We have come to the part of the show which I'm most excited about. Kind of, it's a bittersweet thing. Just last week, our beloved Stan Lee, 95 years young, has passed on. We all have been dreading this day. Every time you opened up Facebook, it'd always be Stan Lee and you always think, no. Well, he has finally passed on, and it was a very sad thing. He led a great life.
Yeah.
An incredible life. I know that me personally, Stan Lee is one of my heroes in my entire life. I grew up in the plains of Illinois, in the middle of nothing, and I grew up with Stan Lee, reading the comic books, reading Stan Lee's soapbox. We do have a picture right here, Luke Cheeseman. Why don't you tell us about your experience with Stan Lee?
Well, I was lucky enough to be working on the Disney lot, and I was with a friend, and he looked over, and he's like, oh my gosh, that's Stan Lee. So we saw some other people taking pictures with him, so we're like, well, screw it. We're going to go up and try as well. So I went up there, and this was actually after I worked on Iron Man 2. I was there at the Stark convention scene working as a background extra, and I think I even mentioned to him there, like I worked on Iron Man 2 and saw you there because he had a little cameo during that scene and stuff. So he's really nice, real friendly, always seemed willing to take pictures with people and all that.
And I would say it just kind of cracks me up because was it Armie Hammer that tweeted out that
Yeah.
said, "Hey, way to like commemorate the passing of this great man by posting a picture of yourself," because all these celebrities were posting pictures of them with Stan Lee. And I'm just like, get over yourself, dude. Like, we're showing
agree with you.
I got really
pictures of
upset
us
with that.
with him. That was the whole
You know
point.
what?
Yeah.
I think Arnie, is it Arnie or Army?
Armie.
It's Armie Hammer. I always
Because
get his name.
it's short for Armand.
I think he was trying his in a very fumbled way to say, you know what, let's make this about Stan. I get
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
I understand that.
However, when people just lost somebody who's really important to them, let them kind of just commemorate how they want to commemorate.
In a way, everybody. Oh, when someone has that much influence. Everybody who knew of him and who was a fan is grieving in their own way.
Yeah, and that's the thing about things like that is like,
Yeah.
don't ever judge someone for the way that they're going through something.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like, that's the way people.
But just like
Well-
when you're a fan of
Yeah.
a book or a comic book that's really important to you, sometimes we personalize it a lot, and therefore we think this is my thing that I need, or my person to grieve. And it's very easy to think that someone else's actions are doing an injustice to your own grief. So I try to have a little grace for him while also
Sure.
saying you shouldn't do that.
So, Katie, what about yourself?
I mean, I never, unfortunately, got to meet Stan Lee, but I know, and he wasn't, like, obviously wasn't there when I did work on a couple Marvel pictures as a background extra too, and that was probably one of my most memorable moments just because the legacy and the franchise and, like, just so much power behind his work. And I know as someone who is a nerd, for me, it's more like he really made a family. I have a family of people who I am friends with because of Marvel stuff specifically, whether it be Comic-Con lines, whether it be when I went to the Captain America event. So there's like just so much. He brought together so many people who all love the same thing, and like, so it's just one of those things. Like he literally helped. I don't think any single nerd in this world has not somehow been thankful for what
Affected by him.
affected by his work and the community that he's created. And that's such a legacy to leave behind. Like how many people have that much impact on, and not only that, every single person that you saw posted online, like the celebrities, every single one of them, not one person had something bad to say. And of course they're not going to say
Just
something bad.
one.
Well, yeah, but like, I meant like they all had such wonderful things to say about him. I mean, obviously you're not going to post something bad, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
yeah, and I also never had the opportunity to meet Stan Lee. Actually, one time at Comic-Con, I think 3 years ago, we were in the hotel room, and I was like, it was the middle of the day. I was like, I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap for a little bit. And Bree was like, okay, me and the other people, we're going to go down to the con floor for a little bit. And they left the hotel room and got in the elevator. And they came back later. They're like, when we got in the elevator, Stan Lee was on there. So they rode the elevator down with Stan Lee. And I don't think anybody got a picture with him. But that was kind of the attitude I had at the time. Was like, oh, well, yeah, I'll meet him eventually. Like, you know,
Yeah.
and I never did. And I do know, like, from the opposite experience, I have a picture with myself and John Hurt from a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
That I got at the Doctor Who convention in Los Angeles here, and that was the January or the February right before he died. He died, I want to say November later that year.
Can't remember.
But and so, you know, I guess I kind of always figured I'd have that opportunity, and I didn't, and that's regrettable. And because I think we were talking earlier that the day Stan Lee died, excuse me, my attitude was just kind of like, yeah. I mean, I kind of figured that was coming because he was 95. Like, it's not a tragedy when a 95-year-old. It's sad. It's very sad, but it's not a tragedy. Like he died in a car accident at 26.
Hang on, Betty White.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But then it was the next day, and I think Katie, you and I were
Yeah.
talking about this before the show. The next day, all of a sudden, I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, like that. Now I'm sad
I started
about
tearing
it.
up because it made me think about my personal growing up with everything he created with Spider-Man. And we were talking right before the show. Stan Lee, you know how old he was when he created Spider-Man? When his biggest successes started, he was 40.
Yeah. And the story behind that is with Fantastic Four. Have you guys heard that story though?
No.
By the way, so his wife was the one who he was gonna give it up, and she convinced him to write something that he actually wanted to write.
That's right, yeah.
And he wrote it, and then he didn't think that they would like it, and then that's what happened. He was gonna quit.
I just think it's encouraging that he really was pushing himself, but then it was when he hit his 40s is when his life, quote unquote, began. So, and Derek, you had a story. You were
I was able to meet him once, just very quickly. Not even time to actually introduce myself. Just like, hey, thanks for being here, and him saying you're welcome. But I was at an event. There's a group based out of Hollywood called Veterans in Media and Entertainment, which I'm only an Army reservist, but I was in, and I haven't been to a meeting in a very long time because they start before I'm out of work these days. But I went to an event for them where he spoke, was just interviewed in front of everybody telling his story a bit. and there were probably 100 people there, maybe 150. So it was a smaller group, which made it pretty awesome. But it was really inspiring because his story, as fans of his know, but not everyone knows, he was in the Army during World War II. And he was a part of the Signal Corps, which would have meant that he would have gone ahead of the advanced infantry and everyone just to set up like phone lines and things so they could communicate when the people going into the danger got there. So it could have been a very dangerous place for him to be. And then through some reassignments and things, finding out some of the stuff he was good at, he ended up staying stateside during all of World War II, as I recall. But some of the things he did, like he redesigned the instruction manual for accountants during the war because it was so confusing at the time. Their training was so confusing. It was taking a long time to train new accountants, and soldiers weren't getting paid on time, which can really affect morale if people aren't able to send a paycheck home to their families.
Yeah.
But he was able to help streamline that with illustrations and everything, using his skills as a writer and an artist. And that helped the war effort from behind the scenes. And then another thing he did was soldiers were not necessarily behaving themselves in the most moral way and getting certain illnesses that sometimes happen in response to that.
VD.
Yeah, so he created a character as part of an ad campaign for them to go and get shots, and it was this little guy walking into a tent with this talking bubble that said "VD, not me." And like as funny as that is, both of those things were a huge help for the war effort when we were fighting, one of the greatest conflicts that America's seen, and it inspired me just as a young service member, or not as young as some, but I joined the Army as a reservist, expecting to deploy, and then didn't. And then a couple times, like I thought I was going to, and it didn't happen. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? What am I actually contributing? And it reminded me that in the military, as in life, you can always do something using whatever you have to make things better, to try and make some kind of difference. And seeing that he did that kind of helped me to think, okay, well, let's use what I can use. Even if I'm stuck somewhere behind the scenes, I can like help the people around me in some way that helps the whole cause.
And I hate to say it, we do have to kind of come to a close.
I know my
here.
story's a little longer. I just had to.
No, I appreciate that story so much.
story.
I mean, the man, the myth, the war hero.
Yeah.
And you had something, right?
Well, not necessarily related to that, but the post I did first, the day he died, was of him at D23. So he was there. His wife had just passed and stuff.
Joan had just passed. It was very sad.
And he was there to receive the Disney Legend Award. And then, so they do the little parade on the floor, and then here comes Stan Lee in his little like vehicle thing, and then he's singing along with Zippity Doo Dah, like showing joy and just having that childlikeness to himself. And it's just like till the day he died, he stayed creative. He stayed just had that childlike thing, and it's just kind of contagious to see that kind of thing, that someone live a life so full and have lost something but still could find that joy and that just that moment. And
your post is what was most encouraging to me. That post about Stan Lee, seeing him, he was whistling and singing along to Zippity Doo Dah a couple weeks after his wife passed, and now we know just like a year before he passed, and he was just like you said, joyful and childlike, and that was so inspiring.
He was basically creative till the day he died. We talked about him starting late in the process, but he kept it going his entire life. A lot of people do little like cross puzzles and things, but Stanley just seemed like he just stayed creative and stayed involved in things.
And you know what, Ben, and we do it. I promise we have to end here, but Ben, you have mentioned before about like you enjoy being around people, myself and this group that are positive and they just love what they do with the cons. And there was something about Stan, he had that. He loved meeting as many fans as he could meet. He loved meeting everybody. He loved talking about himself, but there was something about him that just made you glad to be part of this movement.
Well, yeah, and that's the surprising thing is you see, like a lot of celebrities, they go up and you can kind of tell they're putting on a face to be at the convention, then they are whisked away and they're gone. And with Stan, from what I've always understood, and I didn't know the guy personally, obviously, and there's always probably a different side to people that you don't know, but at least, at the very least, he made a strong effort to create a whole persona to present to the world that he was this positive, friendly guy who loved being there and loved his fans. And that would be awfully hard to fake, I would imagine.
And I want anyone who dares to say, well, Stan was this, this, and this. Let me tell you, in 1968, he wrote a Stan's soapbox that appeared in all Marvel comics that said, racism, homophobia, misogyny are things we must fight. They have no place in society. He was a man ahead of his time. He created so many characters that mean so much to so many people. So, I mean, like you just said something really wise, that there's going to be a different side to everybody. Yeah, we'll be able to find bad stuff about him. Yeah, let's not dwell on that. Yeah. Stan was great. And let me end with this. My big memory with Stan is, like, I was very fortunate. I have a gift hanging on the wall, like a big that Cheeseman and some of his family members, they bought me like a blown up comic book cover and Stan had signed. It was the first comic book cover with Iron Man and Captain America. It was really cool, and Stan signed it. That means a lot to me. But I was able. Marvel Comics next year celebrates 80 years. On the 75th anniversary of Marvel Comics, I got the opportunity to interview Stan Lee. And one question I asked him, I said, what advice would you give Marvel to make sure that it lasts for another 75 years? And he goes, I would tell them, keep using only the best stories and artwork you can possibly get, done by the best writers and artists. Never stop trying to outdo what you've already done, and never forget, good enough ain't good enough. So that's how I remember Stan Lee. That's how I always remember Stan Lee.
And then he said, Excelsior!
Excelsior! He used that word because it sounded positive. He wanted to sound positive and great. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning into the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show this week. We so appreciate you guys being here. Please follow us at theconguy.com on Twitter, at theconguy.com on Instagram. Check our website, theconguy.com. That you don't have to spell it out there. Anyways, where can we find everybody else?
You can find me on Twitter at ConGuyDerek. And occasionally theconguy.com. Sorry.
It's fine. And I'm Katie. You can find me on Instagram at Katie's Fairy Tale. I believe the next convention I'll be at would be WonderCon. So, yeah.
You can find me online at Ben Kliewer, BenKliewer. I'm thankful that I have been engaged for 1 year today.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that the Rams beat the Chiefs 54-51 in the third highest scoring game of all time and the number one scoring Monday Night Football game of all time.
And yeah, you can find me on Twitter, at Cheese on Couch, and also on theconguy.com. And as Brad told us, check out the Aquaman trailer. It just came out recently. So
yeah,
lots of stuff coming up.
Aquaman, and also the Deadpool PG-13 trailer. Once Upon a Christmas.
Once Upon a Christmas.
Once Upon a Deadpool, I believe.
Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Once Upon a Deadpool.
Happy Thanksgiving. Again, we are thankful for you. We're thankful for Stan. And everybody together now.
Excelsior! Happy Thanksgiving.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.